A massive power outage swept through the Moscow region overnight, plunging towns around the capital into darkness. Power kept going on and off, and many say their home appliances stopped working. Locals blame Ukrainian drones. On the evening of October 31st, local media reported widespread power outage across towns in the Moscow region and nearby areas. Residents in Tula also said the lights went out. In some places, electricity flicked and voltage level surged widely. Videos posted online showed entire streets plunged into darkness and streetlights blinking from power surges. Local authorities blamed the incident of an automatic equipment shutdown. Later, Russia's defense ministry claimed that nearly 100 drones were intercepted overnight across the country. Most of them, 45, were reportedly shot down over the Belgorod region. According to the ministry, 12 drones were destroyed over Samara, 11 over the Moscow region, including 6 heading toward the capital, 10 over the Voronezh and 10 over Rostov, 4 over Tula, 2 of which over Lipetsk and Ryazan, and 1 over both Kursk and Kaluga regions. In the Moscow region, the Koltsevoy, or also known as the Rin oil pipeline, was reportedly put out of service, according to the statement by the main intelligence directorate of Ukraine's defense ministry posted on Facebook. On October 31st, Ukraine's military intelligence agency carried out a special operation that disabled a key Russian military facility, the Rin oil pipeline in the Ramensky district of the Moscow region. According to Ukrainian intelligence statement, the pipeline had supplied the Russian army with the fuel for its war against Ukraine. Despite anti-drone nets and armed guards protecting the site, all 3 lines carrying petrol, diesel and jet fuel exploded simultaneously, rendering the pipeline disabled. Russian security service and repair crews were reportedly sent to the scene. The operation, Ukrainian's military intelligence said, dealt a serious blow to Russia's military capabilities and its economy, particularly in the Moscow region.
The Koltsevoy main oil pipeline, stretching 400 kilometers, received fuel from the Ryazan, Nizhny Novgorod, and Moscow refineries. Each year, it was capable of pumping up to 3 million tons of jet fuel, 2.8 million tons of diesel, and 1.6 million tons of gasoline. This strike is another example of Ukraine's sanctions pressure in action, described by DIU Chief Lieutenant General Kirill Budanov.
The Pentagon has given the green light to supplying Ukraine with Tomahawk missiles, telling the White House that doing so would not hurt U.S. stockpiles. However, the final political decision remains in the hands of President Donald Trump, CNN reports, citing 3 American and European officials. The Pentagon briefed the White House on its assessment in early October, just before President Donald Trump met with Volodymyr Zelensky in Washington, a meeting where the Ukrainian leader pushed hard for Tomahawk missiles. During the talks, however, Trump said he was reluctant to provide them, insisting they don't want to give away what they need to defend their own country. The Pentagon's assessment reportedly encouraged European allies, who saw it as a sign that Washington had fewer reasons to hold back the missiles, 2 European officials told CNN. Just days before his meeting with Zelensky, Trump had publicly said the US has a lot of Tomahawks that could potentially be sent to Ukraine, making his sudden reversal all the more surprising. According to the officials, Trump changed his mind only a few days later, telling Zelensky during a working lunch that the US needed to keep its Tomahawk. Behind closed doors, he added that Washington would not supply the missiles, at least for now. His decision reportedly came one day after a phone call with Russian President Vladimir Putin, who warned that Tomahawks could reach major Russian cities such as Moscow and St. Petersburg, and argued that such move would not alter the course of the war but would damage US-Russia relations. Still, sources told CNN that Trump has not fully ruled out sending the missiles, and the administration has already prepared plans for rapid delivery if he gives the green light. While the Pentagon says it has no concerns about stockpiles, US officials are still working out how Ukraine would train and deploy the weapons. One of the key unresolved issues is how Kyiv would launch them. Tomahawks are typically fired from ships or submarines, but Ukraine's Navy has taken heavy losses, making land-based launches the most likely option. The US Army and Marine Corps have already developed ground launchers that could be transferred to Ukraine. And even if Washington decides against providing them, European officials believe Kyiv will find a way to make it work. Back in summer of 2023, Ukraine's forces blew up one of Russia's 3 Oreshnik missile systems inside Russian territory. That's according to the head of Ukraine's security service, Vasyl Maluk. He says the strike completely wiped out the target. The operation was not made public at that time, and it was reported only to President Zelensky, and as Maluk put in, few other world leaders were in the loop.
Until now, we had never spoken about it publicly, but we can briefly say that one of the 3 Oreshnik systems was successfully destroyed on Russian territory at Kapustin Yar by units of Ukraine's main Directorate of Intelligence of the Ministry of Defense, the Security Service of Ukraine, and the Foreign Intelligence Service. This happened at a time when almost no one had even heard of the Oreshnik system. The name wasn't in use yet, and Russia wasn't openly threatening anyone with it. If I'm not mistaken, that successful operation took place in the summer before last.
He also highlighted the effectiveness of Ukraine's strikes on Russian oil refineries. Since the start of 2025, Ukrainian forces have carried out nearly 160 successful attacks on Russia's oil extraction and processing facilities, including about 20 in September and October alone. Maluk says those strikes have caused serious disruption in Russia's energy sector. According to him, they led to a 20% fuel shortage on the domestic market and forced shutdowns at 37% of the country's oil refining capacity. Fuel deficits have been reported across 57 Russian regions, prompting Moscow to impose a ban on petrol exports until the end of this year. The self-proclaimed president of Belarus, Alexander Lukashenko, has once again made headlines with a provocative statement. He said that the Russian missile system Oreshnik is needed to, quote, scare the neighbors. During a working trip to the Vitebsk region, Lukashenko called the system a terrifying weapon and confirmed that its delivery to Belarus has already been planned, according to the state news agency Belta.
Why? I want them to understand that we can strike if things go badly. We'll sit down with Putin, make the decision, and then strike. So don't provoke us.
Besides talking about weapons, Alexander Lukashenko once again repeated the Kremlin's propaganda, claiming that Russia's full-scale war against Ukraine started because Russian-speaking people in Donbass were supposedly being oppressed. That's all for now. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel and leave your comments below.